Hey everyone, and welcome back to Explore Your Dark Side. My name is Stephanie, and I know that it has been a while since I filmed the last video for this channel. So I am back, I'm officially back, and I thought I would kick off with getting back to one video that seemed to create like the most controversy, and this was, are Hogan assessments, or generally personality assessments, are they tests or not? And often when we talk about personality assessment, if you Google it, you will most likely find the search term personality test over personality assessment, because it's what people use, what people are looking for, and what they are being labeled at, basically. And I said in the last video that Hogan assessments or any other assessments are not tests because there is no right or wrong. If you have, for example, something in math, you'd be like, 2 + 2 is 4. It's not 5, it's not 6. So you can say it's right or wrong. It's an objective answer, and this is either right or wrong, which is not the same with personality assessments, which is why they are labeled assessments and not tests. However, and this is, I think, the differentiation we need to make, because I think this is where people kind of like got, how do you say, it rubbed people off the wrong way. Is that how you say it? If you know how to say it properly, let me know. But yeah, so I think we need to differentiate whether it's in a recruitment setting or like a selection setting versus a development setting. When it's in a development setting, you obviously want to answer, you always want to answer as honestly as possible. So you would, in a development setting, know exactly how to use it and where your strengths, where your potential weaknesses or areas for development, as we call it, so where you can work on it. If you have it in a recruitment setting or a selection setting, then obviously, yes, your answers are the fit for the role or what the company is looking for. So obviously then the results of your assessment will determine whether you can get the job or not, whether you might already have to leave the assessment process at this stage, or whether there might be a stepping stone for you to get to the next level, whatever the assessment process would look like. Having said all this, I guess, and this is where people maybe get a bit, maybe a bit burned children with like all of these things. So I think if we use an assessment like the Hogan assessment within a corporate setting, in a company setting, then trust is a really important bit, isn't it? Because if you do not trust the company who is using that data, or the people who can leverage the potential data, then this obviously can get tricky, can't it? If you have been with a company culture that was toxic, if you have been with managers who use your weaknesses or your mistakes or whatever it might be in the past to get an advantage, which is not how it should be, but I mean, I guess we all know that sometimes things are quite different than how they should be in corporate land. But yeah, so I think this, like, the context definitely matters, doesn't it? I mean, the context matters for why are we using this, who is using this, who's having access to this, etc. And the moment you get like HR involved or someone else, you obviously have more people, and you might have like the triangle of trust, etc. So yes, I think, so generally I stand by the definition. Hogan assessments are not tests, they are assessments. However, I can see that it can feel like a test for some of you, because I mean, obviously you can determine if you get the job or not. However, and this is coming from a loving place saying this, if it turns out that you're not a good fit for that role, if you don't fit like company-wise, culture-wise, whatever, then usually it's quite a good indicator if you do not get that job, because chances are you might really be unhappy, or it just wouldn't be the right one for you. But I know obviously with rejection, this sucks, it hurts, and the whole process about applying for jobs can be super tiring. It's not often optimized, it's often not ideal, it's often not candidate centered. So, I get it. However, I think when we argue that this is definitely a test, etc., and I know that things kind of like became a bit heated in the comments, at least it felt like it, then I think we need to see what context we are talking about, and not necessarily label the assessment as the evil kind of tool or the people who developed it, but rather see the context. In these discussions, we need to and I say this totally from a loving point of view, so coming from a good place. I'm not against you or anything, but I think we really need to see what are we actually talking about, and also what is the context, what is the tool, etc. Because I think often we don't differentiate things, and just be like, everything like this is evil. So yeah, I think this was just like my 2 cents for the topic, and I just wanted to add this on. As mentioned, I will be back with more videos, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Thank you for being here, and yes, I'm looking forward to producing more content for you. Thank you, and take care. Bye bye.